Hello everybody, my name is Jennifer Maker and it is a beautiful day to show you how to make mugs with infusible ink pens and markers on the Great Maker Show and Tell. So Cricut Infusible Ink comes in two versions. There's the transfer sheets, which I used in my last few mug tutorials to make really cute dishwasher and microwave safe mugs like those and these over here. And then there's pens and markers. That's what we're doing today. So today I'm going to show you how to get your Cricut cutting machine to draw and write mug designs for you with the pens and markers, and it is so cool. And then I will show you how to transfer your mug design onto a mug using the Cricut Mug Press. All right, so for this project, you're going to want either infusible ink pens or markers. Now, the pens are great for designs with a lot of detail, like it's a lot finer, and the markers are better for designs when you want it to look more vibrant and striking and bold. I like the pens better for the butterfly and the mandala, but I prefer the marker for the garden. It is up to you. Now, it's very important to note that you need to use infusible ink markers and pens. Sharpies and other non-sublimation ink pens and markers will not work for this project. You also need some plain white laser paper to draw your design onto. I recommend 2 sheets of the regular 8.5 by 11, 20 to 24 pound paper, the same stuff that you probably have in your printer right now. And I will explain why we use 2 sheets later on. You're also going to want a Cricut cutting machine. You can use any machine that's capable of holding a pen and its clamp, which is basically all of them at the time of making this video. And a light blue grip cutting mat and the fine point blade and heat resistant tape are also needed for this project. Now, Cricut sells mugs that are optimized to work with infusible ink, which is what we're going to use in this tutorial, which you can see right over here. But if you can't find those, just look for white sublimation blank mugs with straight sides, just like this, between 11 and 16 ounces. Now, to transfer infusible ink pen and marker designs onto your mugs, I'm going to show you how to use the Cricut Mug Press. It is super easy. In fact, I'd say it's the easiest part of this whole tutorial. It's like a cute little mug toaster with auto settings and safety features. It's very cool. And to get you started in the right direction, I have designed dozens of pen and marker designs that you're free to use, including the butterfly and the garden and the mandala, as well as this gorgeous and intricate mandala monogram. I have a letter for each letter in the alphabet. So let me show you where to find these designs, and then together we will draw, apply, and press these fun mugs together. Step 1, find or make a mug design. First, you need a mug design that your Cricut cutting machine can draw with an infusible ink pen or marker. You will find some pre-made designs in Cricut Design Space. Look for the Cricut Mug Press section on the home screen and scroll until you find a design you like. Now, to make this super easy for you, I've designed over 24 different infusible ink pen mug designs that you can download from my free resource library. To find these, head to jennifermaker.com/292 and just go to the red bar at the top and look for libraries, and then either click Get a Password if you don't yet have one, or click Enter the library. You can find the designs by searching the page for Design 292 or Design 293, and then click either one to download the SVG cut file. We'll be working with the designs in number 292 for this tutorial, but feel free to use the mandala monograms in Design 293 if you prefer. They will both work the same way. Inside the folder, you'll find 7 different infusible ink pen designs, including butterflies, hummingbirds, a garden design, birds and hearts, and small and large mandalas. For this tutorial, I'll show you how to make the butterfly design. Now open Cricut Design Space and upload the SVG file. If you're not sure how to upload an SVG cut file to Cricut Design Space, please watch my SVGs Made Simple training series at jennifermaker.com/svgs. Here's what the butterfly infusible ink pen design looks like in Cricut Design Space. Isn't that pretty? Now, there are 2 sizes of mug designs in all of my mug files. The smaller one on top is for the 12-ounce Cricut mug, and it will also work for the 11-ounce non-Cricut mugs, while the larger one on the bottom is for the 15-ounce Cricut mug, and of course, it will also work with the 16-ounce mugs. Both also include 3 extra cutouts stacked over on the right that will be used to wrap and protect your mug in the Cricut Mug Press. The first thing you want to do is hide or delete the size that you do not need by selecting the layer and clicking the eye icon to hide it, or the trash icon to just delete it permanently. Step 2, get set to draw your design. Now that you have chosen your design, it's time to prepare it for drawing. You need to choose your pen colors for each layer, and that's easy. By the way, I made this design with Infusible Ink pens, but you can also use Infusible Ink markers. It's completely up to you. First, click on the layer under Attach where it says Pen. Now over on the top left, you'll see the word Operation, and next to that, just to the right, there's a box. Click on that. A drop-down menu will appear and list all the different pen and marker choices according to size and color. I found that the primary and darker colors tend to transfer more vibrantly, whereas the light colors tend to look more like pastels once they're transferred. So keep that in mind when you're picking your pen colors. I'm going to go with the fine point pen. Now click the green Make It button in the top right corner. On the next screen, just go ahead and click Continue, and then on the following screen, you'll want to choose your materials. Click Browse All Materials and type in laser in the search window and choose laser copy paper and click Done. It's also important to note that the majority of the time that you'll want to mirror any Infusible Ink projects. But since this is a drawing and there aren't any words, this is really completely up to you this time. There's really no need to mirror it, but you can if you like. I didn't bother to mirror my design at all, as you'll see. Step 3, draw and cut your mug design. First, place one sheet of 8.5 by 11 inch laser copy paper onto a blue light grip cutting mat and put it in landscape orientation, which means put it wider than it is taller, just like this, and load it into your machine. Now place your first pen color in clamp A. Design Space will tell you which is first, and in the case of this butterfly, it's the blue pen. Push down on the pen until it's firmly seated. Most of the time you'll hear it click as it seats into place. Place the cap on your pen so you don't lose it, and then press the flashing button and your machine will draw the first part of your design. When it's done, you'll be prompted to add the next color, and Cricut Design Space will tell you which color you picked. Don't unload your mat, okay? Instead, place the next pen color, in this case a green Infusible Ink pen, into clamp A, and press the flashing button to begin drawing again. Continue this until all pen colors have been inserted and drawn onto your paper. If you forget which color comes next, you can always refer back to your screen in Cricut Design Space, and it will tell you exactly which pen to use. After the last pen finishes drawing, the machine will cut out the design outline for the layer with the Infusible Ink pen design and one of the 3 extra cutouts that I mentioned earlier. Once that's done, you'll want to unload your mat and turn the mat over onto your work surface to remove those cutouts. They are paper, and so you'll want to be a little bit more gentle than you would with, say, cardstock. Now place another sheet of 8.5 by 11 copy paper onto the same cutting mat and also in landscape orientation just like you did before. Load it into your machine and press that flashing Cricut icon again. This will give you 2 additional cutouts that are blank. There's no drawing on these. Remove these from the mat just like you did with the first 2. When you're done, you should have 1 cutout with your drawing and 3 blank cutouts. Step 4, wrap your design around your mug. First, and this is really important, begin by cleaning the surface of your mug with a lint roller. This removes any dirt or dust and gets the surface as clean as possible and makes sure that your drawing transfers cleanly and vividly. To ensure the design is on straight and centered, I find it best to position the mug so the handle is pointing toward you. So you want the handle right out like this. Now take the design with the ink on it and position it so that the inked side of your design is behind your mug. So the ink is facing your mug. That's important, just like this. Also, make sure to double check that your design is the right side up. It's easy to get the design upside down by accident if you're not paying attention, so always double check your orientation. Now take those 3 extra cutouts and place them behind your design layer with the design layer facing you. You need those 3 extra sheets to act as a buffer between you and your design and your ink and your heat plate, so you don't have any ink transfer onto your mug press. Now position that stack of layers, there will be 4 layers, behind the mug. And again, you should see that design facing you and the mug. Wrap all 4 layers around the mug, making sure it's a snug fit, and use Cricut heat-resistant tape to hold everything in place. Just put a piece of tape right across those 2 layers under the handle, just like this. Now you're ready for the fun part. Step 5, press the mug with the Cricut Mug Press. Set your Cricut Mug Press on a heat-resistant surface. I'm using an easy press pad, which works great. And you want to position it near a window or in a room with really good ventilation, and then press the power button. It will take about 4 minutes to heat up. With the Cricut Mug Press powered on and the power button green, which indicates it's ready, hold your wrapped mug by the handle and place it down into the heating chamber. Pay attention to where the mug handle is and make sure that the heat plate appears to be covering all of your design. I have found that moving the handle a little to the left a bit helps when you're using one of the smaller mugs. Now press down on the lever on the top of the Cricut Mug Press and double check that the heat plates are completely covering your design. If not, you can just open that lever right back up, reposition the mug as needed, and close the clamp again. Do not allow a mug to sit in the chamber for longer than 20 seconds without pressing down on the lever. Pressing the lever starts the pressing process. There is no other button to press or settings to worry about. The Cricut Mug Press will take the temperature of your mug and paper and the ambient temperature of your room, and it will determine the correct settings for you. It is really cool and takes out all of the guesswork. Little LED lights on the top of the mug press indicate the progress of the press. An average mug takes about 5 to 6 minutes to press. I really like this because it leaves my hands free to do something else while it presses, like get another mug ready. The Cricut Mug Press beeps when it's finished. Lift up on the lever to release it and pull the mug out by the handle carefully. The handle will not be hot, but the rest of the mug will. So be careful not to touch the heat plate with the back of your fingers or any other part of the mug, as it will be very hot and I don't want you to burn yourself. Immediately place your mug on a heat-resistant surface to cool. I place my mug on the same mat that I'm using for my mug press itself, as it's right there and super convenient. Allow the mug to cool down for about 15 to 30 minutes before you peel off the tape and remove the paper. And when the mug is cool enough to handle, you can pull off on that tape and paper and check out your beautiful creation. Step 6, show it off. Aren't the colors just so pretty and vivid? I love this, and it's dishwasher and microwave safe as soon as we're finished pressing. These mugs are simply gorgeous, and they would make a beautiful gift for just about any occasion. All right, so I have some extra tips for working with infusible ink pens and markers. First, I recommend you store your markers tip down, just like this, so that they're always ready to write and draw. If you ever forget to do this, which totally happens to all of us, just do a little scribble on a piece of paper to get the ink flowing before you put it into your machine. Second, put your cap on your pen or marker when it's in the machine, like this, to prevent you from losing the cap or having it roll off the table and get lost while you're working. Ask me how I know about that one. Third, always put away your pens and markers when you're done so they don't dry out. Fourth, feel free to mix and match pens and markers based on what you want your design to be. There's no rules that says that you have to have all pens or all markers. You can totally mix it up. It's completely up to you. And fifth, be sure to check that your design's orientation is in the right way before you apply it to your mug. So I spaced on this once and I forgot to check. And as you can see, my butterfly is totally upside down. I taped it on upside down. And as I like to say, I make the mistake so you don't have to. So check your design. If you have any more questions about making infusible ink mugs with the Cricut Mug Press, please let me know. I love to help. Leave your question below this video or ask over in our Cricut Crafters group at jennifermaker.com/CricutCrafters. And don't forget, I give away a Cricut cutting machine every month. You can enter for the chance to win your own Cricut cutting machine at jennifermaker.com/CricutGiveaway. And that is it for today. But tomorrow I will be back with a new infusible ink mug tutorial. And this one will be how to use the pens and markers to make freehand mug designs. Like these right here. You can see some drawings and a monogram here. So I'm going to show you how to make those. Until tomorrow, this is Jennifer Maker reminding you to craft a life you love.